Question 4, we assess page 305. Solve these simultaneous equations. Where necessary, give your answer to 2 decimal places. In other words, it's a pain and I can't factorise it. I have to use that horrible formula. Right, and there's 4 of them, A, B, C, D. I'll do the tougher ones, C and D. So let's just write it up right now. This is what I've got to solve. I've got to do y equals x squared plus 4x plus 7. I've got to merge it with y equals 3 minus x. Alright, so quadratic, linear. Straight away, I'm sure we can see that can be substituted for y there, and we end up with this equation. If I work down the page, should be alright. So x squared plus 4x plus 7, that's the top equation, equals the bottom equation, which is 3 minus x. Okay, so I used it on the right hand side. Bring it all to the left hand side, so the 3 becomes obviously negative 3 and the minus x becomes plus x. So here we go, x squared plus 4x plus 7, take away the 3 and add the x. Let's see what we've got. That'll become x squared, 4 plus 1 is 5x, and 7 take away 3 is plus 4, equals 0. Okay, I brought everything to the left, there's nothing left on this side. I should put a 0 there, shouldn't I? Now, for the way this looks, it looks like I can factorise, so let's just see what happens. If it does, then we're laughing. X times x is x squared, 4 times 1 is 4, both positive, and look, 1x plus 4x is 5x, really easy. So I've got x equals minus 1 for that one, and x equals minus 4 for that one. So therefore y is going to be 3 minus 1, which is 4 for that set, and I'm going to have y equals 3 minus 4 for that set, and that will be 7. So the solutions are minus 1 and 4 for x and y, and minus 4 and 7 for the second set. So that's really easy. It's still A star. Well, they've given it grade A here, but they usually stars these things. See how that goes. Anyway, so there it is. That was very easy. I didn't need to worry about using the formula at all. Not that it worries me, it's just that it's an awful lot to have to do with A's and B's and C's and square roots flying everywhere. Plenty of opportunities to make mistakes, so we don't like that, do we? That's that one. I suspect I'm going to have to turn over because the last one's bound to involve using this quadratic formula. Let's have a quick check here. 7 minus the 3 plus the x, easy peasy, lemony squeezy. Yeah, that's great. Done. Turn over. And this is going to be D. Looks quite horrific. Oh, let's go blue first so it stands out. Right, I have got y equals x squared, well, that's a good start, minus 2x, that's gone scary, plus 5, and my linear one is awful, so 2y minus x comes to 20. Well, what can I do with this one? I could write this in the form of x equals, but I don't want to do that. This is what I want to do with this. I've seen a good route here. If I go 2y equals 20 plus x, I've got an equation beginning 2y, just at the minus over and plus it. And if I double this up, that's going to be really helpful. Now I can substitute the 20 plus x term where the 2y is about to go. So if I double up, I've got 2y equals 2x squared minus 4x plus 10. And what I've merged therefore is this 2y with that 2y. Therefore I'm going to put this right there and see what happens. Alright, so again, I've not done it before, when we did these things previously in chapter 20, but it seems appropriate to do that now because doubling up the y's produces a lovely equation which can be directly substituted. It just seems like the easiest way to do it. Therefore, let's go for this one and see where we end up. Again, haven't got a clue where it's going to go yet, and of course that equals y, 2 y's rather, so they're the same. So I've got 20 plus an x. Hope I've just copied correctly. Yeah. Alright, so let's just play around with this then. So I've got 2x squared minus 4x plus 10. Now subtract the 20. Now subtract the x, leaves me 0 on this side. Tidy it up. 2x squared minus 4x minus 1x is minus 5x, and 10 take away 20 is minus 10. Alright? Right, does that factor? I will try, because I'm in my exam. I'm going to try the easiest way of doing this, solving it. therefore I'll use factorisation. If it doesn't work, I'll give up and use the formula, and I suspect I'm going to have to use it, but only because it's question 4D as opposed to the random question that pops up in Unit 3. So 2x and x will make 2x squared. How do you make 10? 5 and 2, 2 and 5. If I put a 2 and a 5 there, end up with 4 and 5, 9x's or minus 9x's. I won't get minus 5. If I go for example, 5 and 2, I've got 10 plus 2 is going to be 12x's, or maybe 10 take away 2, 8x's. I don't think I'm going to get minus 5 out of that. The only way I can do this is to go maybe 10 and 1, but that'll give me 20x's. So I'm thinking that this is not going to factorise. Right, so quite quickly in my exam in Unit 3, I've decided I'm wasting my time. So let's just quickly identify these bits. So the A part of the formula is 2, the B part of the formula is negative 5, and the C part of the formula is minus 10. Now look, remember, you're given the formula in the exam, just open the page and there it is on the left hand side, all fully kitted out for you. Shove these in and we're going to get 2 solutions for x and 2 solutions for y. Okay, right, so let's try and do this then. Don't like this, let's go. So x is minus b, which is minus 5, plus or minus the square root of b squared, which is minus 5 squared, minus 4 times a times c, and that's all divided by 2 lots of a. Let's just go for it quickly. What I'm going to do is actually do it bit by bit. Minus 5 is plus 5, plus or minus, well, that's going to be 25, 4 to 10, we'll close it off there. 80 says we plus 80 because minus times a minus, so I've got 25 plus 80 is going to give me the square root of 105, I believe. Divide that by 4. So let's get my 2 answers. So x is going to be 5 plus whatever the root of 105 is. Do that now. So root 105 gives me 10.25. So 10.2. In fact, I won't round anything off yet. 2, 4, 6, 9. Divide that by 4 and get an answer. So add on the 5 equals, divide that by 4, and my calculator says 3.81. Well, there's an answer to 2dp. Had I rounded it too much, I might have increased the final value artificially. So that's my final answer for x. Or I can do this one, or rather and x also equals 5 minus the root of 105 divided by 4. In fact, I don't need to do that, do I? Just get rid of that just to save space and time. Well, I've wasted time actually. I've got 5 minus the 10.2469, then divide that by 4 and get an answer for the other x there. So 5 subtract 10.2469 equals, and divide 4 gives me minus 1.31. Okay, there's my 2 answers. Now, in order to work out the y's, I just want to shove these x's in here somewhere. I could put it in there, it looks far too complicated. If I just rearrange this one again, I'm going to get y equals 20 plus x, divide that by 2. So this is what I'm going to use based upon this. Alright, let's just do it red up here. So let's have a look. I've got y equals 20 plus this x here, 3.81, then divide that by 2. That will give me something. 20 plus 3.81 equals, divide that by 2. So I've got a value of 11.90, which is 11.905, so it's going to go 91, isn't it? And I've also got the other y, which is going to be 20 plus minus 1.31, divide that by 2, and that's going to give me 20 minus 1.31, and then press equals, divide it by 2, and I've got 9.345, so I'm going to go for 9.35. So these are my 2 answers. Now you've got to set it up correctly. If I say x equals that and y equals, that's not going to stand out in the video, is it? Let's just go for yellow, shall we? Here's my conclusion. So, and I've got y equals 11.91, and I've got y equals here 9.35. So that's my two sets of answers. There's that one and that one, and 3.81 for the x and 11.41 for the y. 11.91 I believe, yeah, that's correct. And I've got minus 1.31 for the x, and the corresponding y value is 9.35. I'll stop there. That's likely to have been quite a long video, and I'll get back to you for question 5 and 6 in a single video. Alright?